Hello, this is Sean. I'm sitting here with Jared of Lucky Bamboo Tattoo. Today we're going to talk about finishing another artist's tattoo. What kind of scenario would that entail?
I think, I guess first, this the whole reason this is a topic is because there's this old school mentality that used to be, I think, a lot more common in the street. It still is, I guess, to some degree, because we still get people that ask, will you work on somebody else's piece? But it used to be that you just didn't do it, right? You didn't touch another artist's piece, and it's silly in my opinion. I think it's a dumb perspective because some people don't. I mean, they don't have a choice, right? They have to go to another artist. Maybe their artist is a flake. Maybe they moved. Maybe they went to fucking prison. Like, I don't know, but some people don't have a choice and they're just looking for help. And I guess if you're gonna hold true to some ridiculous rule of you don't touch somebody else's stuff, then I guess that's your own choice. But then that person is left with trying to find somebody that's going to help them complete their piece. So I personally don't have that. I never have. I've never had that rule or belief that you don't touch another artist's stuff. Now, if that was, I guess there's some rare situations where I might not, right? Where it's maybe been a problematic client and the artist is a friend of mine or a coworker, and then I may not. But that's for other reasons than the rule of working on another person's piece. So anyway, sometimes it's a red flag though, right? Like I had a client during COVID that came to me and he was complaining about his arm and he's like, well, this is wrong, that's wrong. And I was looking at it and the piece looked good. Like it did. It was done well by the artist, and I didn't really see the issues that he was having, and that should have been my red flag, right? Because I was wondering, but I didn't see it as like, oh, maybe this person's just impossible to please or he's a nitpicker or whatever. So I went forward and we got one session in, and I seriously had to shit can him as a client because he called the next day and he was complaining. Mind you, it's wrapped, so it's weeping plasma and it's black and gray, but he's like, oh, it's healing weird, and I'm like, dude, this isn't my first rodeo. But he was really disrespectful on the front and basically saying to the front that like I don't know what I'm doing, and I just said we're done. So the warnings were there, but I ignored them, or I just didn't think that they could be warnings. But anyway, I got off on a tangent, but there are several cases where somebody would need another artist to work on, like the sleeve I just finished with the girl that moved here from another state, and she was having problems. Like he just wouldn't schedule her and get her in. She was from the other side of the country, but and then she decided to seek out another artist. So anyway, I don't know if that makes things clear or not, but that's where that comes from. It's like an old, stigma. It's an old, just silly rule that a lot of artists still follow today.
Yeah, we definitely hear at the front people that complain that they can't get in touch with their artist, and they've just given up and they want to find a new artist to work on. And so it's good to know that there are artists willing to take on another person's piece to get it finished for a client.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is a very common complaint, what you just described. And I think it's because a lot of tattoo artists are really horrible at the business side of things, right? Like getting back to people. It's the most common thing you hear. Like, oh, I tried to get a hold of them, I can't get a hold of them, I can't get scheduled. And most of them don't have help, which they should, right? They should have some sort of delegation where they're delegating to some, or an assistant, or have an employee to help them. Just because it's just crazy that, because how can you manage all that? You're trying to do drawings, and a lot of tattoo artists are drawing at night, and so their whole day is packed around drawing and tattooing, and trying to get back to emails and social media messages and phone calls, and it's just too much to manage.
That's understandable. Well, that's a lot of great information. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you on the next one.
You're welcome.